Most people loading a bag of charcoal this weekend have no idea what's actually in it. Not a guess. A peer-reviewed study published in Fuels in 2022 reverse-engineered Kingsford's formula using their own patent filings. The breakdown is 70% wood char, 9% fossil coal, 15% limestone, 5% sawdust, and 1% borax, a compound the European Union classified as a substance of very high concern for reproductive toxicity. For every 20-pound bag, roughly 6 pounds is not wood. It is rock, coal, and industrial chemicals. And Kingsford is not the worst on this list. Here is what the charcoal aisle actually is. 2 corporations control most of it. Every major grocery store and home improvement chain stocks some version of the same formula. Wood char cut with binders, coal, and minerals that have nothing to do with cooking food. The bag looks different. The factory logic does not. 7 brands made this list. 3 are worth buying. By the end, you will know which is which, and the one ingredient that tells you everything before you even get to the car. Let's go. Number 7. Kingsford's Original. The blue bag. The one your dad used. The one that has occupied more garage shelves in America than any other charcoal product in history. A 2022 peer-reviewed study said it plainly. 9% of every Kingsford briquette is fossil coal, actual coal mined from the ground. The limestone makes up 15% of the product, and it serves one specific purpose. It turns white when the coals are hot, so you think they are ready. That is not combustion chemistry. That is a visual cue engineered into the formula. Independent burn tests put Kingsford Original at 21% ash by weight. 1 out of every 5 pounds ends up as powder in your grill. Kingsford is owned by Clorox, the bleach company. Their own safety data sheet for the product states 70 to 90% of the mixture consists of ingredients of unknown toxicity. That is number 7, and the least objectionable entry on this list. Number 6. Kingsford Match Light. Everything in the original, plus petroleum distillates. Hydro-treated light kerosene is soaked into every briquette before the bag is sealed. The packaging carries a combustible warning. The instructions themselves say do not add matchlight once the fire has been lit. Use regular Kingsford instead. Read that again. Kingsford's own instructions tell you their product is too chemically volatile to add to an active fire. That warning is printed on the bag they are charging you more per pound for than the original. You are paying a premium for coal, limestone, borax, and lighter fluid pressed into a pillow shape. The convenience is theirs. Number 5. Royal Oak Classic. The red and blue bag. The brand where the manufacturer said the quiet part out loud and still kept selling the product. A user on a BBQ forum asked Royal Oak customer service directly about their classic briquette. The written response said it consists of hardwood char, coal, and other proprietary ingredients. They added that they do not recommend using the classic briquette in your smoker. They told a customer in writing not to use their own product in a smoker and offered no explanation. Independent burn tests fill in the gap. Royal Oak Classic produces 32% ash by weight. That is 50% more ash than Kingsford for the same volume of charcoal. Nearly a third of the bag becomes powder. The testers concluded that it likely contains significantly more coal than Kingsford, and the company will not confirm how much because it is proprietary. You are paying for a product where the manufacturer warns you away from serious use and will not disclose what is in it. That is not an edge case. That is the product. Number 4. Embers and Expert Grill. The house brands sold at Home Depot and Walmart. Different logos, different shelf locations, same factory operation. Embers is manufactured by Royal Oak. Expert Grill follows the same coal plus binder template. Royal Oak, Embers, and Expert Grill, 3 of the last 4 bad list entries, trace back to the same manufacturing parent. Royal Oak is owned by Sweet Oak Parent, which is controlled by Mariposa Capital and Rourke Capital. Different branding, one calculation. The ash yield on these house brands tracks Royal Oak Classic. You are looking at 28 to 32% ash in your grill. The price is lower because the wood content is lower. That is the whole story. Not to be confused with Cowboy Lump, which is a different and cleaner product. The Cowboy briquettes, sold at Tractor Supply and various regional chains, carry the same fundamental problems as every corporate briquette on this list, with the added issue of inconsistent quality across production runs. Pitmaster forums have documented the shift directly. Users who had positive experiences with Cowboy briquettes for years started reporting structural failure of partially burned coals, with briquettes crumbling when handled and unusable for relighting on a second cook. One forum member described it precisely. The binder breaks down during the cook. That is what happens when the formula changes to reduce costs, and there is no transparency about what changed. When your briquettes cannot survive one cook intact, you are not just getting filler instead of wood. You are losing the entire efficiency argument for buying briquettes over lump in the first place. Number 2, Kingsford, long burning. Kingsford's answer to the criticism that their original burns too fast. The solution was to engineer a longer burn time, which sounds like an upgrade until you look at how they did it. Independent burn tests comparing Kingsford Long Burning against Kingsford Original found that the long burning version produces significantly more ash, not less. The extended burn time comes from denser packing of the same filler-heavy formula, not from a higher ratio of wood. You are burning through more mineral and coal content per cook to get the longer session. The ash accumulation in a long smoke is a functional problem. It can choke airflow through vents and kill your fire mid-cook. This is the brand using long burning as a positioning advantage, while the actual mechanism producing that long burn is more of the same industrial formula. The marketing solved the complaint without addressing the cause. Number 1. Generic imported briquettes. The no-name bags at the gas station. The unbranded pallet by the register at the hardware store. The shrink-wrapped stack at the dollar store end cap. A peer-reviewed study published in Science of the Total Environment tested 74 commercial charcoal brands. Some products contained up to 26.6% impurities by volume. A companion study found up to 37.9%. The contaminants detected across tested products included coal, coke, metals, sand, plastic, and glass. Actual glass. In charcoal sold for cooking food. None of it violates a single U.S. law because there is no FDA or USDA safety review for charcoal. The regulatory floor you assumed existed does not. A generic bag has no minimum standard it is required to meet. There is no inspection. There is no disclosure requirement. The label can say almost anything. That's the list. Before the good news, one honest thing. The point is not to make you afraid of your grill. Most of these brands have been sold for decades, and the population is not dropping dead at cookouts. The point is that you have been paying for a product partially composed of limestone, coal, and borax, and told it was charcoal. Now you know. Whether that matters is your call. For the people it matters to, 3 brands made the cut. Number 1, Jealous Devil. One ingredient, Quebracho Blanco hardwood from Paraguay. The name translates to axe breaker. It is one of the densest hardwoods in the world. No coal, no borax, no limestone, no petroleum, nothing else in the bag. The Naked Whiz, the most respected independent lump charcoal testing database online, rated Jealous Devil highly recommended, with low ash output and a recorded maximum temperature of 997 degrees Fahrenheit. That is what burns like when there is no filler diluting the fuel. At around $1.25 per pound at Home Depot, the sticker price looks higher than Kingsford's 68 cents per pound. But strip out the 6 pounds of filler in every 20-pound Kingsford bag, and the real cost of Kingsford's actual wood content is 97 cents per pound. You are paying 28 cents more per pound for pure hardwood with no industrial compounds. That's the real comparison. Caveat: lump is irregular in shape and does not stack in a chimney as neatly as briquettes. You adjust in 2 cooks. You do not go back. Number 2. B&B competition. Oak briquettes. All natural briquettes. This is the rare briquette that earns its place on the clean list. B&B markets their competition oak line as all natural, no chemicals, no additives, and no fillers. The binder is vegetable starch, not coal, not limestone, not borax. Independent testing confirmed the claim. A head-to-head comparison with Kingsford found B&B competition oak produced 38% less ash. The briquettes are visibly larger and rougher than Kingsford's, which reflects the absence of the extra binders and forming agents used to make industrial briquettes look uniform. They take slightly longer to light because there are no nitrates added to accelerate ignition. That is the tell of a product that has not been chemically engineered for the opening 30 seconds of your cook. B&B is available at Ace Hardware and Academy Sports nationally. Around $10 for 17 pounds. Roughly 59 cents per pound. Because the briquettes are larger and contain more actual fuel per unit, the effective cost per cook runs lower than the per pound price suggests. The caveat here is honest. B&B was acquired by Duraflame in recent years, and longtime users have flagged some batch inconsistency since the acquisition. Buy from a store with solid turnover to avoid old stock. Number 3. Fogo Super Premium. Made from dense Central American hardwoods, primarily Inga with no chemicals or added ingredients. Every piece is hand-selected before it goes in the bag. Fogo means fire in Portuguese, and the product backs that up. It reaches grilling temperature in roughly 15 minutes and burns at temperatures that make it a restaurant-grade product used by professional kitchens. The 35-pound bag runs about $2 per pound, which puts it at the top end of this list by price. The performance justifies it. About 80% of each bag consists of pieces 4 inches or longer, designed specifically for low and slow cooking, where small, inconsistent lump pieces create temperature management problems. Kamado users, in particular, have made it a go-to, because the large, dense pieces hold temperature steadily in oxygen-controlled cookers without the ash choke problem that plagues industrial briquettes. No filler, no coal, no industrial compounds. Just hardwood that was charred slowly by artisans, sorted by hand, and put in a bag. You now know what most people lighting their grill this weekend do not. The formula is simple. Turn the bag over before you buy it. If the ingredients list includes limestone, coal, borax, or petroleum distillates, or if the manufacturer warns you not to use it in a smoker, put it back. If the only thing in the bag is wood, you've found your charcoal. The gap between the worst brand on this list and the best is 6 pounds of rock per bag versus 0. That's the only number that matters. Drop the brand you're done with in the comments. I'll be in there.